Hi guys, so I am here with George from Somavedic. George, please just introduce yourself a little and could you just let us know a bit more about Somavedic?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so I'm the CEO of Somavedic Technologies of the US branch that was established in 2019. The original Somavedic Technologies was the European or the Czech company was set up in 2011, and since then is producing the Somavedic devices as we know them.
Mm.
And yeah, so. Uh, I've been with Somavedic for 3 years now, and it's been a great journey. And because it's something that I can see on an everyday basis via the emails that we are getting from our customers, how it's helping them. So in a nutshell, what Somavedic is doing and why it was designed is basically to mitigate the negative effects of EMF, electromagnetic radiation, from cell phones, Wi-Fi's, computers, or NVTS towers. So this is what it's doing. We have a lot of traction, a lot of studies showing that it's actually on a biological level that is helping our bodies to be more, let's say, healthier or to regenerate faster.
Can I
So
just interrupt you there and ask how were these studies done exactly to know that it was actually working?
yes, so so we've got studies from Germany, from Austria, and from Slovenia, and they basically a third-party lab was doing them, and they were measuring the HRV, the blood pressure, or they put in one case it was like a double-blinded study where people didn't know, they were in one room with a cell phone or a Wi-Fi router, and with Somavedic they didn't know which one was went on. uh, and right now we are in the middle of like a clinical trial that's done, that's been going on here in Czech Republic, and it's a double-blinded study done by doctors. It's a state-owned like lab clinic. It's a public institution, and they are measuring the blood pressure, uh, the mood, how people feel, and free radicals. And because the reason why they are measuring these, let's say, for example, mood as well, is because they've done, the same doctors had done like a previous small study with 10 people. And the results were that with 7 out of 10, they measured that they, after 4 weeks, they have lower blood pressure without changing anything else. No change in the diet, no exercising, no nothing. So
Wow.
which was like really like surprise for them and for us as well, because like the Somavedic was not designed to lower blood pressure, but obviously it's doing something to the body so it can like heal itself. That's why this, let's say, this is what happened to some of the patients. But what was even more significant, that they were doing they were doing questionnaires like every day on how they feel, and this was even bigger improvement. They said they feel much more more optimistic, more relaxed. So on the mental level there was a huge improvement as well. So that's why right now there's like a much bigger study, double blinded, going on, uh, like an official one, when they are looking for the confirmation of these previous tests. And when this will be successful, then the doctor said then the road is open to for Somavedic to become like a medical device, which is very unusual for a device that's basically was designed just to like mitigate EMF. and a lot of people just perceive it as just a lamp. They turn it on and like, now like what's going on, because the energies of it are very subtle, so usually people don't feel them. They just feel the effects of the brain fog is gone, or they sleep better.
If I can just jump in for a second, when I first got the device, which I don't know how long ago it is, it's probably been about 2 months now. So just for those who don't know what one of the devices look like, it's like this. It's currently plugged in. So from what I understand, it mitigates this harmonious frequency or something.
Yeah.
And it's at a radius of, is it 100 feet or something like that?
Yes, it's a 100 feet radius into all directions, so it's creating like a sort of a bubble.
Yes, yes. So after reading up about it, I was like, it sounds really good. I just don't know how exactly I'm expecting to feel. So I plugged it in, and I wasn't too sure if it was going to be placebo or if it was placebo, because I was like, "Ooh, I think I feel better." Like, I'll be honest, it felt like I felt quite relaxed. I felt like, I don't know, is it working? I feel calm. I feel this sense of peace. But is it because I read that? And then as time went by, I still felt this, like when I come home, I just feel, okay, I'm focused. Yeah. And one other thing which I read about it is that it structures water as well, isn't it? So
Yes, yes.
out of habit, I do tend to place my water by the device. Um, but like, for me, it's hard to know when things are actually working for you, when you do so many different kind of biohacks to optimize your health.
Definitely.
So you mentioned in with the clinical studies or in the laboratory that they have free radical tests or something. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I'll get back to the free radicals. I just comment on your experience, which is one of the like repeating patterns that people experience when they get Somavedic. So it's they sleep improve, they feel more energy during the day, they can focus more clearly, their brain fog is gone. With women, their headaches are gone, but at the same time, a lot of people also tell us that they feel calmer, they feel more relaxed. So this is one of what you were described, this is one of the ways how people like feel. But at the same time, we know that it's working with like pets, with animals, that they were like sick for long period of times. Then people bought Somavedic, and the health changed quite let's say drastically in a matter of few days, and they got healed. Also, people observe that the plants grow faster, and bloom longer. So this is how one of the ways how we can, in a way, like indirectly, like rule out the placebo, because like plants and dogs, like they don't know like what's going on. So
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, that would be that. And yes, so the Somavedic is structuring water. It's doing the on the same way as it's mitigating the EMF. So as it's radiating the field around it, when you put jug of water next to it, it's in about 15-20 minutes, it gets structured. And why is this important is that in nature, you can find structured water in rivers, like flowing rivers. But nowadays, there's no way how to get structured water unless you structure it with some kind of device. And to like get a body proper hydration, it's ideally when we drink structured water, because structured water is in our cells, like within our cells, so it's already in our bodies. But when we don't drink that, like the body has to structure it. So it is providing better hydration, better vitamin and mineral absorption, etc.
Just quickly, what is the difference between normal bulk water, water that you get from a tap, and structured water? Like if you just drink tap water alone, what's the difference from drinking normal tap water and having structured water directly from after putting it next to a Somavedic?
Yeah, so when you, for example, we have this on our webpage. We have the photos of like tap water that in lab in Switzerland they froze the crystals and took a picture of it, and you can see the crystals are deformed. And when there's structured water, you can see very nice crystals, and this is like geometric patterns. It looks like snowflakes. And so this is one of the like ways how we can see if water is structured or not. And the difference is then for us in the taste. The water just tastes different. It's more silky, more smooth. It just, you can just you you are just drinking it like more, like the body is asking for that. I'll give you just one example of a friend of mine from San Diego. She used to drink like a gallon of water every day and still be thirsty. And since she's got Somavedic, she said like her headaches are gone, but like she's drinking half of it, half of like what she used to drink before, because her body gets like much better hydration from the structured water.
Right, right. So it's almost again a thing of, it's not about the quantity, it's the quality of the thing that you have.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and when you mentioned free radicals, so like free radicals, they cause like oxidative stress, which is like aging of our cells. And this is connected to lots of like a huge list of very serious disease. Like when you type it free radicals or oxidative stress into Google, you'll see that there are lots of studies confirming this. And what we found just recently, a few months ago, when we were doing tests with the free radicals, that you could actually, when we gave people like free radical strips, like what you just you pee on it. It's working with urine, because it's measuring like a chemical in the body that's very precise in the urine, and it will tell you the levels from 0 to 4 of your free radicals in your body. So we were doing some tests with experimenting with this, and we found out that people that had high levels of free radicals in their bodies, and we gave them Somavedic, then after 2 days, the free radical levels got normalized in their bodies, which is really like a big deal. And we've done like 20 tests, and all of them like had the same result. You basically get much lower levels of free radicals, or they get like normalized. And we've done this with doctors as well, with some skeptics. So when they've done the test, they first of all they got scared, because they've never done a free radical test, and when they saw that they have high levels of free radicals, they know that like this is not good, and in the long term it will lead to some kind of like serious disease. And so then we gave them the Somavedic, and really after 2 days, the free radical levels were normalized, which they couldn't believe. But basically, they were doing the test at home, since then they are like great fans and supporters.
That's incredible. That's really cool. So I was actually looking for these free radical strips, and I couldn't find any anywhere. Do you have any websites where I could actually get some myself? Because it would be interesting to test it out, especially if I do like any kind of vigorous exercise, chances are my free radical load is going to increase. And maybe if I stop using it for a few days and see what happens, especially with EMF,
Yeah.
yeah, where could I get it, basically?
Yeah, so we buy them from one German site, but we've done also the test with US ones that are FDA approved, and you can buy them on Amazon. And when you put into Amazon like free radical tests, you'll get like different type of tests, and they are usually about $25 for the home use. So I think like people should be able to find it on Amazon like this, just like the free
Okay.
radical tests.
I was going to say, something else. So it works by some crystals. There are some crystals or crystals and stones. That's it.
Yeah.
Precious and semi-precious stones in there, isn't it? Could you explain a little bit about that and how that works exactly?
Yeah. So there's a story, a short story behind it. Why this configuration? So the founder of Somavedic Technologies, Ivan Rybyansky, years ago he was quite sick, and he has a problem with his pancreas and some other organs. And basically, the doctors gave him just few years until he will end up on a wheelchair. And he decided to do something about it. And he basically started to study Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine and the power of precious stones and minerals. And like long story short, he got healed, and from the knowledge what he gained throughout the years, he basically put together the Somavedic, the first version of Somavedic. It was, of course, like a long process, like R&D. What precious stones and minerals put together? What's the combination? How much of them, etc. How many of them, etc. But at the end, it even the very first prototype worked, and this is now the core of Somavedic art, actual like physical precious stones and minerals with precious metals like platinum, palladium, gold. And what we are doing is that there are different, let's say, energy amplifiers that are amplifying their frequencies and properties
Mm.
into environment. So that's why Somavedic is creating basically a field like around it, like a coherent space where our bodies don't negatively react to the EMF frequencies, and they basically, they just have more energy to regenerate themselves.
Wow, wow. So these precious stones, is it a mixture of different stones or is it one particular stone? How does that work?
Yes. In the like the bestseller is the Medigreen Ultra, the one that you have, and there are 19 precious stones and minerals inside. And basically the you can measure the direct effects of Somavedic can be measured with bioresonance devices. So, for example, in UK or some in the US, it could be like BICOM. They are called like BICOM bioresonance devices, BICOM. So they are able to measure your levels of EMF and different other like markers.
Okay. So it's EMF protecting, but it's not EMF blocking. Could you
Yes.
explain how exactly that works?
Yes. So, for example, when you have, let's say, you have like a Wi-Fi router, a cell phone, and like Bluetooth and whatever, and all of them are working at the same time, and they don't cancel each other out because they are on a different frequencies. So this is similar with Somavedic. He's working on a different frequency and is creating this field where it's not blocking the like the EMFs or the signal whatsoever. You'll still have your signal on your phone. The Wi-Fi is still working, but what it's doing that on the cellular level, the cells don't react to the negatively react to the EMF radiation, and this was measured not directly in the labs, but biomarkers that the labs were measuring showed that when you turn on Somavedic, you get the biomarkers get improved.
Okay, okay. How did the name Somavedic come up, anyways? It's very random.
Yes. Yes. So it's Soma means basically like body, and Vedic it's from the Eastern medicine. It's like Veda, like uh, in generally in India they use it. It's like Vedas. It's like it's knowledge uh, about like supplements and lifestyle and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like Ayurveda, for example.
Who? I what?
Ayurveda, like Ayurvedic medicine or so. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, can is this safe for everybody to use, including children? I know you mentioned animals and plants is okay. So, around babies, would it be okay? Is there a certain distance it has to be within a person or anything like
Yeah.
that?
It's perfectly safe, of course, for pregnant women, for small children. It's not only safe, but it's basically recommended to have it at home when you live in a city or a city center, because there's like lots of EMF, and there are like thousands and thousands of studies actually showing how the EMF is messing with our brain waves, with our cells, especially with small children or fetus. So, because they are much more sensitive to that. So, it's definitely recommended and it's safe to have a Somavedic at home. And regarding the placement, as its field, like the radius is about 100 feet into all directions, so it's enough to have it somewhere in the center of your apartment or home. Well, that means like a kitchen or living room. You don't need to have it in your bedroom because the light might be too bright, but it might be too strong. It's perfectly fine if you have it in the hall or in the living room.
Mm, okay. Um, so we at some point we're probably going to have the 5G towers, and that is going to be a bit of a concern. Would this be still of use when we have 5G, which is going to be everywhere at some point?
Yes, this is definitely like a huge topic, the 5G, which is a real health concern because like no study proved that it's safe, and people are like really, let's say, scared that they I don't want to say they should be, but it's just not healthy. And what we've done so far in areas with 5G in some parts of Austria, where people have Somavedic, we've gave them the free radicals test strips, and all of them, all of the people that we've tested, show that there are basically zero or very low free radical levels compared to like the highest ones, like 3, 4. They were very, very low. So this means that it's on a biological level, it's actually the Somavedic is actually protecting you from the 5G as well.
Well, that's great. So that means like less inflammation.
And less headaches, less brain fog, yeah, more vitality, better mood.
Deeper sleep as well, better recovery.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Are there going to be any future upgrades from the Somavedic? Have you got any ideas for the future where this might take you?
In like right now, how the Somavedics are designed is that they are very versatile and universal like devices, because they just creating a space where the body can do the work. It has the energy to do the work. So there there is no like specific thing that we should or we will be adding to that, but we are constantly upgrading few times a year, 2 or 3 times. That depends. uh, for example, last year, towards the end of last year, there was the biggest improvement or upgrade, because we've upgraded the Medicrine Ultra for 5G. So even the, let's say, the base models have a 5G protection as well.
That's awesome. So you mentioned about upgrading. The precious stones which is in there, do they expire at some point? You know, after continual usage?
Yeah, so usually you would have to clean the precious stones in some way, some on the sun, some on a moon or in the river. But the way how Somavedic is designed and why it's connected to the like electricity is to keep the stones at their fullest potential, so as long as possible. So we give 5 years warranty for, if something breaks within 5 years, we'll just exchange the model. This does not mean that they will stop working when like 5 years over, like gone. The oldest models we have are more than 9 years old. They are still working very well. So it's basically you don't need to worry about in the next, let's say, at least 7 years. And I think that will change like a lot in the 7 years, but you don't need to worry about the Somavedic. It
Okay.
will take care of itself.
So there's no official expiry date for it at the moment, from what you understand with the stones that is in there.
Yes, yes. As long there's still inside of each Somavedic, there are like LEDs, usually three, and it's because like the light itself has its function on our like brains, etc. And the second reason is that it's a sort of uh, it basically shows us if there's something wrong with the device, because when one of the LEDs goes off, you will see there like a black part on the Somavedic. You would see that immediately, that one of the LEDs is not working. That means that there's something wrong with it. So this is the way how you can determine if the Somavedic is working or not. If all of the LEDs are on for this 5, 6, 7 years, you don't need to worry about it. Not functioning well.
Right. So if something happens where one of the LEDs is off, do they contact you guys to get it sorted out, or is there
Yes.
another
Yeah.
place?
Yeah. Exactly. We just the customer gets in touch with us, and we'll send them a new one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, which you'd like to talk about? So, you know, to educate the people about Somavedic and its benefits, or anything?
Uh, I I think that we've discussed basically like most of what is Somavedic is about, and how it's helping. So for some people that are more science-based oriented, we do have some studies published on our webpage. The biggest one, we are right now in the middle of it, but even the smaller study before that showed like great results. That's why they are doing a bigger one. And for other people, we have lots of testimonials showing like very like a huge variety of experiences, from getting rid of headaches, brain fog, from doctors that have Somavedic at their offices, how they are more basically efficient. They can handle more because they have more energy. And one maybe one last like mention. It's like just a few days ago, uh, like one of our customers from Denmark wrote us a very nice email. Basically, he was suffering from AFib. It's when you get heart arrhythmia.
Right.
So yeah, so you have like heart arrhythmia. You can get that like few times a day or few times like a week, and it's quite it's like a condition and might be like dangerous. And so we've sent him some Somavedic, and so after 3 months, he was deciding if to send it back or not, and he realized that when he was thinking about like should I return it or shouldn't I do that, then he realized that there was no attack in the last 3 months, like not at all. And he said that this never ever happened before, and there were no changes in diet, there were no lifestyle changes, no nothing. And what he's experiencing when he's leaving the house for more than 3 days, that they get back. He's got the like arrhythmia attacks back.
Right.
So when he's not in the Somavedic field after 3 days, but when he gets back home, they are just gone. So this is like a huge, let's say, huge thing for doctors to explore more. So this is what we will be focusing on in the coming like weeks and months, because this is like very interesting what's happening on like electromagnetic like fields within our bodies, and how Somavedic is helping with that.
Do you think you might be working on like a like a portable device at all, which you can keep on your key ring or anything like that?
We do have like a small one. It's like a keychain.
Oh,
And yeah, you have to charge it like every day because it's like a passive. You just put it on Somavedic, for example, during the night, and then the next day or two you can wear it with you. So that's something that we have. And then we have also like a traveler. This one is called portable. It's very like, it's passive, a small thing. And then we have a traveler, which looks like the same as the green one you have. It's just smaller. It fits into your palm, and that's designed for the car or for hotel rooms when you're traveling.
right. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have like a measurement as to, I don't know how I'd explain it, the frequency range in which they go up depending on the size of the device, if that makes sense?
Yes. So all the big Somavedics, they have the radius of their field is 100 feet into all directions, and the small one that's 30 feet into all the directions. So
Mm.
yeah. So this is what you were asking?
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yes, yes. So, okay, back to this one here. Now, if I decided to carry it with me and it was not plugged in like that,
Mhm.
would that still work?
It would still work, because how it's designed, that it would have about 50% efficiency, because inside, as it's based, the core of it, the main uh, like function is based on the precious stones and minerals, and there are also like energy amplifiers, like a natural ones that are just inside, so it's working even when it's unplugged. To have a 100% efficacy, it's like you have to turn it on, but it's working even unplugged.
Oh, that's awesome. It's good to know. Well, George, I think that's everything. I think I've got all the information I need. It's been an absolute pleasure, seriously. And I think since I've had this, my sleep has been better. I haven't had anything to directly check the, what is it, the free radicals. I don't have the free radical strips yet, but my sleep has definitely got better. I haven't checked the heart rate variability, but yeah, the radical strips, free radical strips, I'll definitely get on that. But thank you very much for your time and providing all this information, because I know a lot of people will find it very useful, and it will give them a bit more of a thought process in whether it is something that is for them, in which case I think it should be. Yeah.
All right, Roger. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's been a pleasure talking to you and sharing like the experience and more of a, let's say, awareness about the EMF and 5G, because that's really important.
Absolutely. Okay then, George. Thanks again. I'll speak to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Take care.